Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. Today we are here to present our topic Virtual Reality and the Law, Analyzing Legal Challenges and Opportunities. This paper is basically written by Dr. Monika Dagar, Assistant Professor, Institute of Law, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, India, and I, Tajwinder Singh, final year student of BLLB Honors, Institute of Law, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. So starting with the presentation as the topic is virtual reality and the law. First of all, a basic introduction. Why do we choose this topic? So as we all know that whenever a new concept, a new topic come up, then we always need a proper law for that. As we know that law is something which governs every social aspect, every economical aspect, or every aspect of life is governed by law. So similarly, virtual reality is a new concept which needs to be governed by law. We all know that up till a time when there is no internet or there is no technology, there was no law for information technology. But with coming up of these information technology and internet and cyberspace, we need a law for that, the information technology. So all the countries made their own laws. Similarly, we don't have in the time when we don't have the aircrafts, we need not law to regulate it, but when they came up, we needed a law. So we had aviation laws for that. Then hijacking of them. Then earlier there was no concept of surrogacy, but it is a very modern concept that for the pregnancy, the surrogacy. So for that, to regulate that surrogacy processes, we need to have a new law. So the countries started making their laws on surrogacy as well. Then talking about the same-sex marriages, up till a point they were not legal, but after they became legal, then we need to give them marital rights, their divorce, their adoption, everything needs to be governed. So we need a separate laws for that. So similarly, since virtual reality is a new concept, we need new laws for that. Coming up with the basic understanding that what is virtual reality, the very meaning of it is a computer generated simulation that immerses users in a three-dimensional, that is 3D, and interactive and often multi-sensory experience. It employs specialized technology to create a simulated environment, altering perceptions and enabling users to interact with this artificial setting. Initially it was only limited to video games and other things like that, but now virtual reality is going to cover all the other aspects of our life, be it education, business, social interactions, sports, tourism, etc., etc. Everything is being governed, everything is being, interfere with this virtual reality. Talking about few examples of virtual reality, we have immersive learning experience and education with this coming up of this particular virtual reality. Then we have virtual meetings and conferencing for remote collaboration in businesses. Then training simulations for athletes and professionals, virtual tours enhancing travel experience, among others. So all these are examples of virtual reality. Now coming up to what are the opportunities in the legal field, since we are law students. So we are going to discuss that what are the opportunities the legal world or the legal fraternity going to have with coming up with this virtual reality. So the very first thing is the driving tests and other things, like the law enforcement is going to be enhanced and is going to be more effective with coming up of virtual reality. Just an example is of a driving test, because earlier when human used to conduct this particular driving test, there is a scope of corruption that it can be a biased opinion, or they may give a driving license to someone who is not a very good driver for that matter. So that is why when simulators or this a test will be conducted by this automatic artificial intelligence and with this mixture of all virtual reality and technology, then the scope of biasness will become very less, and from there we are going to produce more safe drivers, and the driving space will be more safe with the coming of virtual reality. Also, there is going to be data visualization and analysis. For example, creating a crime scene uh, for the purpose of investigation. So there's going to be so many no clues to it. The investigation process is going to be very easy, when with the help of virtual reality we will be able to create, we will be able to recreate the crime scene. So it is going to be very helpful for the criminal investigations. Next, it's going to be very cost saving and efficiency as well, because with the help of virtual reality we can create virtual courts. So as in India, if we talk about particularly, there is only one Supreme Court, that is in Delhi, the national capital of India. And when we talk about Delhi Supreme Court of the main establishment, the other parts of country like the southern part or the northeastern part, and for that matter the the middle part of the country, they are very, it is very difficult for them to access the Supreme Court because they have to travel miles and miles to come to the Supreme Court. So that is why it is important for them that if there will be virtual courts, they can be in their own cities and argue, especially the lawyers, the advocates, they can argue before the court. Other people can also appear before this court with the help of virtual reality. Though we already have virtual courts with the help of video calling, etc., but they were not very helpful. Also, it is going to be helpful for our legal education as well. Then there are going to be few challenges. Now we talk about opportunities, when as on the top, the coin have always two sides. So similarly, if there will be opportunities or the benefits of the virtual reality, there are going to be challenges as well. So talking about jurisdictional ambiguities, because there are two avatars. They are the metaverse. If we're talking about, there are so many avatars in a metaverse or in a virtual space, and if their avatars going to do some act, or there is going to be breach of contract, or there is going to be any such thing over that virtual space, to which particular, we can say, jurisdiction it will fall, that is going to be a matter to be decided by the court. So it is going to be a new challenge for that. Then there are going to be enforcement of regulations, like existing laws may not sufficiently cover offenses. For example, if avatar of mine will do a very vulgar show a vulgar sign to the avatar of other woman, it's going to be amount to be outraging the modesty of that particular woman. So, are we going to punish that avatar, or are we going to punish me for the same? Also, there is going to be challenge that that particular avatar can be hijacked. So, in case of that hijacking, that in case of that hacking, if that avatar is committing such an offense, who is going to be liable for that? So, all these questions need to be answered. So, also there are going to be privacy and security concerns. Currently, only with the coming of this social media, whatever we type, it's going to be leaked somewhere. The data is needs to protection. In these cases only. But think of a situation where you are being recorded for the whole time. So obviously there are chances that that your privacy will going to suffer a lot with coming of the situations. Then as I talk about it was talking about the avatar. Now, are we going to include that avatar in the definition of person? So the definitions of the person is also needs to be relooked, or we need to revisit that how are we going to amend our laws to the point that all the criminal offenses like defamation and other things are going to be covered by anything done by the avatar, other legal virtual entities. So these were the few challenges before us. Now, talking about the suggestions, we need to have a proper law for that. We need to, first of all, establish a specialized regulatory body which is going to address all our issues. Then we need to do international collaborations, because with the virtual space, it's not going to be a national issue. There are going to be people around the world coming to that virtual space, because it's a virtual space. There is no land required. So, into which jurisdiction is going to be fall. So for that, we need international collaboration and standardization as well. Then we need new laws, legal amendments to the current laws, and a continuous research and adaptation for that matter. To conclude, I would just only like to say as that we require a collaborative efforts among legal experts, policymakers, and technologists to establish robust legal frameworks that align with the evolving landscape of VR technology. So we need to for new legal adaptations to deal with all the complexities and challenges. So with all, I thank you very much for that patience hearing. Thank you very much.